Mississippi's #1 in obesity and overweight. So I think it's very important for schools to be conscious of what they feed their children.
Small kids don't need to have salty stuff and sugary stuff.
They had lots of processed fruit. Even they had vegetables, the vegetables were from cans, so it wasn't that fresh.
And I'd never been very happy with it, but I just didn't think there was much you could do about it. I kind of thought that's just the way it is, and the budget is low, and we just deal with it.
A lot of kids don't get the vegetables. Maybe that's what they're offered more, fresh fruits and vegetables at school, that they'll begin to eat it because it's all about being healthy. Because Mississippi has a high obesity rate, and I see a lot of obese children.
We all had kind of reached that point where we were concerned enough to do something about it.
Clemence Bovard from France, and she said when she moved here she was pretty horrified by what our kids were eating.
I start to ask parents if they agree with me that we need to change something in the, not in the menu themselves, but on the way to prepare food. And well, I found a lot of parents that were agreeing with me, so that's how Fresh Start started.
Clemence really kind of led the way and linked with Allison Bueller and Gaining Ground to explore having a small farm-to-school program, pilot program here at Emerson.
I really thought that it was going to be a great idea because it would give the children an opportunity to get to experience the taste and texture of fresh vegetables and fruit as opposed to processed. I made phone calls to the health department and they assured me that they would support me in in what we were doing because they felt like this was a good idea too.
There's a lot of regulations that have to be followed to ensure that all the food is safe for the children that's being served. And as long as we could sort of check off all the boxes of those, regulations that they have, they were okay with it, and they were actually pretty excited about it.
We were very supportive of it immediately because the concept is something we would hope that everyone would practice on a daily basis.
Fresh Start began very simply by looking at the menus that we had and meeting with Cisco reps and changing out equally priced healthy food for processed foods. So everything that was white went to whole grain, everything that was canned went to frozen, anything that was prepackaged and processed went to fresh. And that took a lot of extra work from our cook. She has to prepare food now. She has to chop up apples and make things from scratch.
It was a lot to think about, considering when it's just one person in here doing the cooking. It was a little bit more work, but I was willing to do it. Overall, the kids are not complaining. They're not big complaints, but they're enjoying the change. The hardest part, I would say, is trying to plan something, keeping it healthy, and planning something that the kids would enjoy eating.
Right now, our farmers are finding a growing market with community markets, and all summer long in Starkville they can sit at the corner of 2 streets downtown and sell. But when the summer's over, their market is over. And so when I called one of those farmers to ask if he would be interested in Fresh Start and providing fresh and local fruits and vegetables at school, to our school, he said yes, it extends his seasons.
Allison Bueller with Gaining Ground called me one day and asked me if I'd be interested in participating in Fresh Start with the school, and I told her I would. I like what we're doing because it's easier for me, because I don't have to pick it until it's ripe and I don't pick it until it's sold. Financially, this is huge. We're in a period of time when typical demand decreases. With Fresh Start, you know what you have that you can sell, whatever you grow. You know what you need weekly, and it gives you the ability to make money through the slowest times of your year. And any time that you can do that as a farmer, it's wonderful.
brought us fresh peas, which everybody, including all the teachers, have been enjoying. He brought in, I think, a couple of pea pods to show the kids and explain to them and talk to them about where it comes from and exactly what a pea is inside the shell. We have a lot more parents on board with this than we actually started out with, because I think they're enjoying it also.
That made me feel so happy when my daughter asked me for green beans as a snack.
I don't know what's going on when my food comes from California for my kids, but I know what it looks like when it comes from down the road.
During the summer, we had a pretty great menu going. So after that is now we do a lot of fresh frozen vegetables. We get more servings out of the frozen vegetables, the fresh frozen vegetables, than we do out of the can. It's a little bit more expensive, but we're pretty much, what we're getting out of it, serving-wise, it makes up for the difference in the price.
This is where they eat most of their meals because they're here for a good part of the day during the work week. And so this is where a lot of it happens, a lot of their preferences and the development of their taste buds and palate. So it's really critical, we felt, to make those changes now. Couldn't wait.
I mean, if we can teach them to grab an apple instead of a cookie when they are hungry, it will stay with them all their life. It's like good manners. I mean, if we can teach them good manners, we can teach them how to eat healthy.
I think that this is just good day-to-day application of education for our children because the children need to know and develop items of taste that are healthier.
Call the health department. They're always willing to help you with anything. Don't be afraid of trying new things. Always keep in mind what you have to do in order to keep your license, and the importance of keeping the children safe and your family safe. But be willing to look into it and take the time to look into it, because I think anything that we can do that will make the health of our children better, and to also to introduce nutrition in new ways for children too, that it's just a win-win situation.
I think it's critical that all across the state people look at what we're serving our youngest little citizens and how that's going to affect their taste and their diet for the rest of their lives.
I never dreamed I would be where I am right now.
I think we can really do good things for kids with this program.